including nationally ranked Ball State and Ohio State. The IPFW Volleyball tonight go out of league action as they get ready to host the Tigers of the University of Pacific here at the Hugate Sports Center. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Moss. Welcome once again to IPFW Men's Volleyball here on Couch 56 Sports. I'm joined by Women's Assistant Volleyball Coach Steve Florio. And Steve, IPFW is playing perhaps their best volleyball of the season.
Yeah, they're playing really great volleyball. They're playing really aggressive defense. Their ball control is the best it's been all season. And moving C.J. Macias to the right side about 3 or 4 weeks ago has been the golden ticket for him right now.
Speaking of C.J. Macias, he was named the MIVA Player of the Week last week for the third time in the past 4 weeks. A good weekend last weekend, 58 kills in 2 matches. As he rolls, so go the Dons.
Yeah, I mean, the Dons are rolling. Again, like I said, they're playing great defense, and they're getting him the ball, though. They're getting him the ball. They keep the ball off the ground, and they get the ball at a big banger, and he's getting the job done. He has the ability to hit anything, any type of set, good or bad, and he just keeps the ball in play.
The University of Pacific, a member of the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation, come in here tonight with a record of 5-11, but that record's a little misleading because they're a better volleyball team than the record shows.
Oh, absolutely. Pacific's traditionally a very strong team, and you know you can't forget that that IPFW before that Ball State match was a sub 500 team, and since then they've turned that around. You can't forget that Pacific plays all those very, very strong West Coast teams, and IPFW's yet to beat any of those West Coast teams. So
a little local flavor on Pacific here. Former Bishop Lures Knight Mitchell Hazlett comes in here and he's a starting setter.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it just goes to show that this community really loves the sport of volleyball and puts out great athletes.
We're looking forward to a great match. It's IPFW taking on the University of Pacific. Stay tuned. Starting lineups in the opening serve are just ahead right here on College 56 Sports.
That book was all right.
You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales. You're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Happy spring! It's time to think of chocolate eggs and Easter bunnies.
And we're thinking about children in town who would like to be a part of the fun.
We're the alumni directors of the area colleges and universities.
Each year we adopt an area school and provide filled Easter baskets for all the students.
We need 500 baskets.
Please consider donating filled wrapped Easter baskets for this very worthy cause.
Remember, all the items in the basket need to be wrapped and not homemade.
Then the entire basket should be wrapped.
You can drop off your baskets up until April 6th at any one of our colleges or universities.
With your help, we'll make 500 children's spring a bit brighter this year.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Hugate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW, along with IPFW Women's Assistant Volleyball Coach Steve Florio. This is Mike Moss, beginning of a long night here at the Gate Center, Steve, as the IPFW Volleyball get ready to take on the Tigers of the University of Pacific in men's volleyball, and that'll be followed by the women's basketball season finale against Texas A&M Corpus Christi. But we want to talk volleyball right now, and as we said a few moments ago, Steve, IPFW playing their best volleyball of the season.
Yeah, they're really playing some really good volleyball right now. They, I'd say about 3 or 4 weeks ago, they moved C.J. Macias from the outside position to the right side position. It's made all the difference so far. He's 3 out of the past 4 weeks. He's been MIVA Conference Player of the Week, and that comes right on the heels of that position change.
Well, let's get into tonight's starting lineups as they're being introduced to the crowd here at the Gate Center. First for the visiting Tigers of the University of Pacific, again a member of the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation. They come in here with a record of 5-11, 3-9 in conference play. Their ball would be Garrett Morales, a 6-foot junior from Long Beach, California. The setter, Mitchell Hazlett, 6'5 junior from right here in Roanoke, Indiana, played at Bishop Lures. In the middle will be Joe Forbes, who's a 6'7 freshman out of Westport, Connecticut. On the outside will be Brian Adamson. Brian is a 6'9 senior from Arlington Heights, Illinois. Also on the outside, Pekka Seppänen. Seppänen is a 6'2 sophomore from Kuopio, Finland. Hope I pronounced that right. In the middle is Simon Chen Byerly, 6'5 sophomore from Northfield, Illinois. And on the outside will be Matt Cornell, a 6'4 junior from Granada Hills, California. The head coach in his 13th season is Joe Wortman. For IPFW, their starters are as follows. You get a good look at Joe Wortman, the head coach of Pacific. He'll shake hands with Ernie Ball here momentarily. The starters for IPFW. The libero will be Mike Mauricius, 5'6" sophomore from Antioch, Illinois. On the outside, C.J. Macias, 6'4" sophomore from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Also on the outside will be Brock Ulrich. Brock is a 6'6" sophomore from Winfield, Illinois. Josh Collins gets a start tonight. He's a 6'3" junior from Bancroft, Ontario. The setter is Colin Lundeen, 6'3" junior from Victoria, British Columbia. In the middle, Sedar Sikcha, 6'7" senior from Istanbul, Turkey. And also in the middle will be Josh Stewart, 6'8" sophomore from St. Mary's, Ontario. The head coach of IPFW in his 26th season is Arnie Ball. He's assisted by Mark Franke, Ryan Perrott, and Dennis Johnson. Brian Himmelsgaard is going to be our up official tonight. And I apologize, Steve. You may know our down official. She's been here before, but I can't remember her name.
That's a good question. I can't remember her name either.
We'll get our crack research staff.
That's a good thing, though, by the way. Officials say that if you can't remember their name, they did their job.
We'll get our research staff on this issue right away. IPFW wearing the white jerseys tonight, blue numbers, blue shorts. Pacific wearing black jerseys, white numbers, white trim, black shorts. There you see Arnie Ball. Dons are 8-5. Pacific's going to serve first. It's Mitchell Hazlett, the setter, and it's a service error. And the first point of the match goes to IPFW.
That's a good way to start. I guess if you're IPFW, not so if you're Pacific.
Brock Ulrich, 6'6" sophomore from Winfield, Illinois, with the jump serve. Hazlett setting up Cornell, and it's blocked. Stewart and Collins blocked that shot by Matt Cornell, and it's a quick 2-0 IPFW lead. We play rally point scoring. Games 1 through 4, you play to 30, win by 2. If it has to go to a decisive game 5, you play to 15, win by 2.
It's a great serve, force a tough pass.
And getting the point will be Brian Adamson, the 6'9" southpaw. Block attempt went wide, and the Tigers are on the board. It's now 2-1 with Matt Cornell ready to serve. And another service error, 2 service errors by the Pacific Tigers.
Making it easy for IPFW right now, and I'm sure that Pacific's they're going to straighten that out right away. That's just something you can't have. Can't be 0 for 2 straight off the bat in service errors.
Josh Stewart with the float serve for the Dons. And that time Adamson went from the left side to the right side and smashed a winner. Brings Pacific to within 1 at 3-2.
Well, it's about time to get a serve in here if you're Pacific.
Joe Forbes will serve.
Now they're off and rolling.
Sick Joe, nice dig by Hazlett. Free ball opportunity coming up for IPFW. Josh Collins, and it's in, barely in, to the chagrin of the University of Pacific. Makes our score 4-2. And C.J. Macias. Steve, we note from the game notes that C.J. leads the country in kills per game. Coming into this match
it's
tonight.
his ability to swing at just about any set. His beach play background enables him to take swings on even sets that aren't very good. And there's 2 types of hitters. Hitters that are really good that can hit really good sets and hit them really well. And there's hitters that can hit bad sets and hit them well. CJ is a hitter that can hit good or bad sets.
Josh Collins comes down with a kill. Makes our score 5-3, favor of IPFW.
One of the things that have turned around for IPFW is their ball control. When they came out against Ball State, we saw the best ball control all season from them. Defense and serve receive. And it looks like it's carried over these past few weeks until tonight as well. They're passing really well and they're touching a lot on defense. Already have a block on the night.
Brian Adamson gets credit for that last kill. Now here is Pekka Seppänen from Finland. And he just serves it into the net. That's 3 service errors. We've only had 10 points played total.
Yeah. It's a It's just a tough way to start. You don't even challenge the other team. It's free points.
Here is senior Sardar Sikcha serving for the Dons. And coming back with a point is Simon Jen Byerly. Makes our score 6-5. IPFW with the lead. Simon Chen Byerly, 6'5" sophomore from Chicago suburb of Northfield to serve.
Another good pass.
Stewart with that windmill-type shot.
What the good passing is allowing IPFW to do right now is they're setting their middles. They've already set Sardar Sikcha, and they just went to Josh Stewart there. And what you're going to see happen over the course of the game if they can keep running their middles is you're going to see the middles have to commit. The middle blockers Pacific are going to have to commit and leave an open one-on-one situation on the outside.
Not the best pass for Pacific that time, and the Dons get a point. They're Sepidin unable to get the ball over the net, and Pacific calls a timeout. We'll take one as well. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on Tower 56 Sports.
Are you in there? What's up? The show's at 7. Whoa. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
Welcome back to the Gate Center along with Steve Florio, Mike Mosh. You get a look at the back of IPFW head volleyball coach Ernie Ball. I think Ernie's got to be somewhat pleased so far. His Dons are up 8-5, and thanks in part to 3 Pacific serving errors.
Yeah, Pacific is having a tough night right off the bat. They've missed 3 serves. They're having trouble with their service heat. There really is no rhythm on their side of the net. It's a great timeout by Coach Wortman to just try to pull them together and say, let's get going now. See what they do here.
Good dig by Colin Lundeen. Ulrich, nice tag team block. We had Forbes as well as Cornell there, and Pacific gets the point, and they draw to within 2. It's now 8-6. Mitchell Hazlett, 6'5" junior out of Bishop Lewis High School. He's with the serving honors, and boy, does he have some fan support here tonight. But he serves it long.
Yeah, he does have a lot of fan support. You got to wonder if it might even be a little nerve-wracking for him. You know, wants to look good. It's his first time back since leaving for Pacific. First time playing in front of a lot of people who haven't been able to get out there and see him play.
Second rotation of serving for IPFW. Brock Aldrich with the serve, but Brian Adamson gets the kill. The Tigers crawl to within 2. It's 9-7.
You know, when a team's a little out of rhythm, like Pacific seems to be right off the bat, if you're IPFW, you want to jump on that right away.
Lundeen setting up Macias, and the block attempt is wide. Point IPFW. That's now lead 10-7.
So we want to pour the pressure on, play some good defense, and just keep them out of rhythm. Take some big swings and put up some big blocks. But play aggressive. You want to play aggressive here. There's no need to be real safe right now. You want to try and knock them even more off kilter.
Josh Stewart serving for the Dons. And that ball goes to the left of our location. The point is Pacific's. It's now 10-8. Tigers will serve. It'll be Joe Forbes. Forbes again, a 6'7" freshman out of Connecticut. Jump serve. Lundeen for Sikcha. Good dig that time by Forbes. Keeps that point alive. Macias off the shoulder, I believe, of Cornell.
Nice defensive effort by Pacific on a great play by Sardar Sikcha. Many people think it's a big wimpy play to tip the ball instead of hit it, but right there he changed it up. They've been hitting, a little tip there. Just changes it up. It's like a change up in baseball.
Pekka Sepinen will get credit for the kill. We'll see how duo Sikcha at the net.
Since the timeout that Pacific took, they've come out, they've played a lot more solid, a lot more steady. Passing is better, and the swings are better. So good timeout by Coach Wortman.
Battle at the net. Don's got to try to keep it alive. Macias off the hand of Adamson.
And there is an example of being able to hit any type of set. That's not an ideal set. It's coming from 15 feet off the net. It's coming from way on the other side of the court across his body. And he's still able to take a good swing on it. That's what he does better than most other hitters in the nation right now.
12-9 IPFW. We'll get 12-10 as Josh Collins commits a service error. Neither team able to establish a flow thus far, Steve.
Yeah, both teams are sort of just letting the game happen right now. No one's really trying to grab it and run with it.
Another service error for Pacific. I believe unofficially that's 5 here in game number 1.
Just can't have that.
That's got to be driving Joe Wortman nuts. Sikcha to serve. Hazlett going to set up Adamson. Block at the net by Ulrich, but it's a little long. Or is it? On the line?
No, that is called in. And there was really no complaint from Pacific. And when you see the players not complaining with the call, you know it was a good call.
Another backcourt serve by Sikcha. Oh, good block there between Ulrich and Stewart. Cornell, another block. Pacific keeps it alive. Another block by Stewart. I'm going to say net violation, I believe.
Yeah, net violation on Colin Lundeen. You know, one thing that IPFW is always good at is blocking, and so it's nice that they're able to add strong defense and ball control to complement their great blocking, and I think that's one of the reasons they've been so successful over these past 3 or 4 weeks. Of course, CJ is a big part of it, but when you don't dig the ball or pass it well, you can't always get it to your big gun, so they're allowing Colin Lundeen to distribute the sets really well and find their big gun when they need to.
Well, back-to-back service errors, first by Simon Chen Byerly for Pacific, and then Colin Lundeen for IPFW. Makes our score 15-12. Volleyball's on top. Mitchell Hazlett will serve.
Pretty good pass.
Macias. The Browns will get the point as the block hits the pole. For C.J. Macias, that is his 4th kill of this first game.
Yeah, that's his 4th kill on his 4th attempt. He's hitting 1,000. Again, you'll hear me say this throughout the night. Hitting percentage in volleyball is very similar to batting average in baseball, and you want to hit around 300. And right now, CJ is perfect. Nice dig.
Dig there by Marisi. Collins brings it over, and Morales digs it up. And Cornell's kill attempt is a wee bit wide. Makes our score 17-12 in favor of IPFW.
And there's an example of one of the reasons they've been winning. Mike Marisi doing a great job in that libero spot. It was a great dig, keeping the rally alive for IPFW, and then letting Pacific make that hitting error.
Wow, little power there by Joe Forbes. Pacific gets the point.
You know, for Pacific, it seems it's 1 error, 1 good play, 1 error, 1 good play, and you know, when it all shakes out, you know, 50% errors, 50% good plays is not a good percentage.
Ulrich dug out by Morales. Free ball opportunity coming up for IPFW. Lundeen for Macias. Yes. C.J. Macias just blew it by Mitchell Hazlett. And the Dons go back up by 5, 18-13.
And CJ is now 5 for 5. That's great.
See how long that can go. Momentary delay. Extra volleyball got onto the floor. Josh Stewart to serve. Hazlett. Oh, nice dig that time by Ulrich. Another set for Cornell off the shoulder of Lundeen.
You know, the good thing there, it's a good point by Pacific. It's a great job of taking that pass, making a good swing. What IPFW is doing right now is they're making Pacific earn their points. And Pacific's not necessarily doing it at IPFW right now. Missing serves, some hitting errors here and there.
C.J. Macias, and it's a little long, or is it in? A little bit long. Here's the call. 2 points in a row for the Tigers, and now they creep to within 3, 18-15. Joe Forbes will continue to serve. jump serve over the net. Sitcha off the fist of Forbes. Get the serve back.
Now, if you don't know volleyball, that probably looked pretty routine, but that was a very high-level play right there. When the setter's that far from that and he could still feed the ball to his middle hitter, that's a great set. A great job of Sidar Sitcha staying ready to get that set.
Good dig by Macias. Lundin setting it up for CJ. Wow, that goes in the stands off the wrist of Hazlett. IPFW increases their lead to 5 at 20-15. CJ Macias will continue to serve. What a find. Good solid serve.
That's a great pass.
And they call a lift on IPFW. Honey Ball says, who? Mike Marisi? You gotta be kidding me.
Well, what the call there was, it's called a lift, and basically the simplest way to explain the rules in volleyball for a lift is the ball's not allowed to come to rest. And so if it sits for more than like a split second on any part of the body, it's considered a lift.
So now Sitcha a little bit strong. And a couple of points in a row for Pacific. Again, they creep back to within 3 at 20-17. Brian Adamson will continue to serve, the 6'9" left-hander. Good serve. Chance for the Tigers. Adamson, dug out by Macias. CJ with a bullet. Just they say long.
Yeah, just a little long.
There's your first error of the night, attack-wise, by CJ Macias. Tigers within 2. Adamson continues to serve.
Nice pass.
Josh Collins, did he hit the pole?
Yes, his attack hit the antenna, and in volleyball, the antenna, if the ball hits the antenna, it's out.
Timeout called by IPFW. For tickets to IPFW athletic events, call 260-481-6000, or you can go to the IPFW Athletics website. It's www.ipfw.edu/athletics. IPFW game tickets are available for individual events or mini-season packages. Again, the phone number, 260-481-6000, or go online for tickets at www.ipfw.edu/athletics. Well, Pacific has clawed their way back. They were down 20-15, but they've ripped off 4 points in a row, and now it's 20-19. Again, this is game 1 of our best-of-5 match here tonight. The first half of a volleyball-basketball doubleheader. It is senior night for the women's basketball team. They have won 4 of their last 5 games. They're going to close out their season tonight against Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and we'll be bringing that game to you here on College 56 Sports.
Well, since Coach Wortman's timeout, Pacific has been excellent. They've really cleaned it up. Aside from a few hitting errors and 1 or 2 other service errors, they've really picked their level of play up, and IPFW can't coast on Pacific's mistakes anymore.
Or can they? Another service error. I think by my count, again, it's unofficial, Steve, I think that's 7 service errors by Pacific. And that's 1/3 of IPFW's points they've accumulated in this first game. There's Josh Collins, the Canadian, ready to jump serve. Hazlett setting up Sepinen. And off the touch. IPFW gets the point.
Yeah, block straight down. Good job by the block to form together, not have any holes in the block for the hitter to hit through. He really didn't have anywhere to go with that. That set was a little too far out. It really limited what the hitter could do with it.
Crowd trying to get into it. Oh. Well, CJ Macias will use any part of his body to try to keep that ball alive, but he was unsuccessful. Point for Pacific. Tigers now trail by 2, 22-20, with Pekka Sepinen, ready to serve. Easier said than said.
Wow,
little boot shot there.
That's an IPFW original, by the way. That's a shot that Loy Ball sort of coined as his own, called the pineapple. Reach up with the right hand and push it back into the far back corner there.
Substitution, Jared Quillen will come in for Sardar Sikcha.
For those of you that don't know, Roy Ball, who I just mentioned before with that pineapple, former player here, son of Coach Arnie Ball, and three-time Olympian and captain of the U.S. national team.
Best player IPFW's ever put on a volleyball court.
One of the best players the United States have ever had on their Olympic team.
Ulrich a little bit strong. And it's now 23-21.
Now IPFW is still not in a big rhythm, and the hitting percentage shows they're hitting 238, which is below. Again, we want to be around 300.
Lundeen setting up Macias. Block attempt is wide.
Now, here's a little quiz for you, Mike. Last time we were on the air, we talked about what that shot is called when you hit the block and it bounces out of bounds.
You had it.
It's a slang term. It's a slang volleyball term. What is it?
Give me some time to think about it. Get a cheat sheet.
Nice defense right there. Real good scramble. Way to keep it alive.
Adamson dug out by Macias. Maurici going to set up Macias. Block at the net. Lundeen for Stewart. Wow! Josh Stewart just put that ball down.
And a scrappy little play like that, bopping it off the net, bopping around, tapping it over, doesn't look like great volleyball. But I'll tell you what, it keeps the rally alive, and that's what you want to do in this sport, just keep the rally alive.
Pacific cost their second and final allotted time out of this first game of the match. You saw Arnie Ball there. Arnie obviously is a little bit concerned, but his team is leading 25-21.
Yeah, definitely. Due in part to some errors by Pacific, and Pacific has tightened it up, so he has every right to be, asking his team to tighten it up as well, because they're coasting a little bit on Pacific's errors. They're not playing a real tight, clean, crisp game of volleyball right now.
Arnie having an in-depth conversation with Brock Ulrich. You see some of the other players that haven't been in action yet loosening up or trying to stay loose. Timeout is nearly completed now.
Pacific has really tightened it up. IPFW is not playing as good as they can. They're playing good, not as good as they can. And when you're a coach, your team's not playing to its fullest potential, you always get a little worried, especially when another team is heating up.
Well, players are back on the court. Common Lundeen, the setter from British Columbia, will continue to serve. He has played well this season for the Volleyball. Good jump serve. Hazlett setting up Adamson, and Pacific will get the point. So a good timeout call that time by Joe Wortman, because the momentum shifts over to the black and white. Mitchell Hazlett, former pride of Bishop Lewis, with the serve. Stewart, is it in? I believe so.
Definitely in. Great pass and a good job running the middles. Again, running the middles early in the game will open up the outside and right side hitters. Will give them a one-on-one situation as the game wears on.
Brock Ulrich with that corkscrew type serve.
Really blasted it.
Adamson, Ulrich with a good dig. Macias makes it count. Brock Ulrich with the dig, Steve, keep that point alive.
Again, another dig by IPFW. That is 12 digs. I mean, this is the best defense they've played all season these past few weeks, and it's showing. One thing that helps is a good block, and that's something IPFW always has.
Another jump serve for Brock Ulrich. Battle at the net, and this time Pacific will get the point. Joe Forbes outduels Brock
on the follow-through, Forbes, I believe it was Forbes, swung and hit the net, and hitting the net is illegal. You're not allowed to touch any part of the net with any part of your body in volleyball.
Boy, I'm glad you're here to correct me. Off the top of the net. Good play there. Forbes at 6'7". He's got some spring in the legs. He jumped up and hammered it home. 28-23 is our score. IPFW on top. Matt Cornell to serve for Pacific. And it's another service error, and now we're at game point. And a couple of substitutions. Sikcha back in, as is Mike Dyga about to come in.
this is a blocking sub. Mike Dyga is an exceptional blocker. He's very good at that skill. And so Coach Ball puts Mike Dyga in right here in this situation to try and get a block.
Josh Stewart serving for game one.
There you go.
Dyga with a block. Hazlett setting up Adamson. And Adamson gets it home past the outstretched arms of Lundin. Pacific still alive, but they're still facing 5 game points. 29-24, Joe Forbes to serve.
Good for IPFW in this situation. CJ Macias is in the front row. He's available to hit.
Sikshaw. Game one to IPFW by a score of 30-24. The teams will change ends. We'll take a break, get ready for game two. Again, Dons win the opener 30-24. You're watching IPFW men's volleyball on College 56 Sports.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stop Band is looking for more members and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Happy spring! It's time to think of chocolate eggs and Easter bunnies.
And we're thinking about children in town who would like to be a part of the fun.
We're the alumni directors of the area colleges and universities.
Each year we adopt an area school and provide filled Easter baskets for all the students. We need 500 baskets.
Please consider donating filled wrapped Easter baskets for this very worthy cause.
Remember, all the items in the basket need to be wrapped and not homemade.
Then the entire basket should be wrapped.
You can drop off your baskets up until April 6th at any one of our colleges or universities.
With your help, we'll make 500 children's spring a bit brighter this year.
Arnie's Army is back. The Mastodons are on the move with the best volleyball action in the Midwest. The Dons have a seasoned veteran lineup ready to do battle with the big guns in Division I volleyball. It's time to take the offensive, settle some scores, catch all the action of the next big volleyball battle at the Gate Center. Go Dons!
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW. Along with Steve Floyle, this is Mike Maas. Game number 1 in the books of our best-of-5 match featuring the Tigers of the University of Pacific and the IPFW Volleydons. And IPFW, Steve, wins game 1 by a score of 30-24. The numbers stick out to you?
Well, yeah. Pacific had 8 service errors. That's 8 points. That's 8 points, and IPFW won by 5. Let's do the math a little bit, think that over for a second, but 8 free points. And IPFW only made 2 service errors, but another number that sticks out to me is the 12 digs by IPFW to only the 5 digs by Pacific. And then the hitting percentage, IPFW hit 357, and CJ Macias hit 500. Again, it's like a batting average in baseball. 300 is, if you hit 300 in baseball, you're one of the best in the game. And so you want to be around 300 in volleyball, 300 hitting percentage. So IPFW well over that at 357.
Here's some highlights from game 1.
There's IPFW running the middle attack. There's
good block there.
There's a block. One of the things IPFW does so well, big swing by CJ Macias. Another big block. There's the pineapple. CJ Macias with another kill there. Another nice run in the middle by IPFW. Colin Lundin has done a great job of setting the ball sometimes to his middles, sometimes to his outsides, and sometimes to CJ Macias. Mixing it up. Not predictable, really making Pacific guess, and that might be a reason for only their 1.5 blocks and only their 5 digs.
Brock Ulrich serves for the Dons to start game 2. And Matt Cornell will get credit for kill number 1 of this game, and it's a Pacific lead of 1-0.
And there's a little change-up right there. That's one of the first back row attacks you've seen out of Pacific, and one of the first tips we've seen out of Pacific, one of the first off-speed shots. So they came out with a slightly different game plan, perhaps.
Also changed their opening setter in Game 2, it's Joe Forbes. Game 1, it was Mitchell Hazlett. Off the touch, IPFW ties it up at 1-1.
Well, Mitch Hazlett is setting.
But he was in the serving position.
Right.
I meant server instead of setter. I'm sorry. Josh Stewart to serve. Again, we're tied at 1, just underway in Game 2, and IPFW commits their 3rd service error. And I guess if you do the math, Steve...
Oh, that's not bad. 3 service errors so far in 2 games. That's not too bad. That's actually very good.
If you do the math, IPFW with the 2 service errors as opposed to 8 for Pacific, and a 6-point differential.
Yep.
Josh Collins with the kill right in front of Cornell. Josh, that's his 3rd kill of the night.
He's hitting 500 on the night. That's a good hitting percentage again. That's way better than 300, and 300 is sort of the standard we're going to try and hold these guys to. How about that?
CJ Macias with the serve. Also with the dig. That ball is still alive. I'll let you explain this when the point's over as Adamson puts it away.
It's a rule that was instituted a few years ago called the pursuit rule. And if the ball is dug outside the antenna and towards the opponent's side, the team that dug the ball is allowed to, they have to go outside the antenna and bring the ball back outside the antenna. Sort of complicated.
Sikcha gets it past the diving Garrett Morales, and they're tied at 3.
Another chance for Colin Lundeen to run his middle hitters, Sadar Sikcha. The more you can run your middles, the more you're going to hold the opposition's middle with them, creating one-on-one situations for the block, for the attack.
Collins with the jump serve. Good block by Sikcha. Madonna, good point. Sadar Sikcha doing what he does best, blocking a shot. In fact, Sikcha is 13th in the country coming into this game with just over 1.3 blocks per game.
He's a very good blocker. It's one of his best skills, if not his best skill.
And Elizabeth McHugh blows the whistle.
Well, what the call was is if that official is saying that one of the players, I'm not quite sure who she pointed out, stepped underneath the net and over the center line, and that is illegal.
And let's see.
Similar to a net violation.
Adamson and Hazlett talking to Brian Himmelgard.
You rarely see that call, which might be what all the discussion was about.
Now IPFW now ahead 5-3. Collins continues to serve. And Hazlett turns attacker rather than setter, I think. Are they calling it out? Wow. Close.
Well, here's the argument right now. Pacific is saying the setter attacked the ball, and Hazlett attacked the ball, and it went off of our blocker's hands.
And the call has been reversed.
And that was handled correctly. The up official can't see everything. That's what he has the line judges for. He calls the line judge in and asks him, did he touch the ball?
So now Brian Himmelgard has to talk to Colin Lundeen, captain for IPFW. And I think we're ready to go with Simon Chen Byerly to serve for the Tigers, trailing 5-4.
It's a good serve.
And IPFW comes right back. Lundeen with a mission. Sepinen unable to get it over the net.
Totally caught the defense off guard on that. They're flat-footed. They weren't expecting that attack. Block didn't go up with them.
Sadar Sikcha from the backcourt serving. Cornell off the touch.
Okay, so what type of kill is that? Let's revisit this for a second.
You're the expert. I defer to the expert.
You can say he used the block, or that type of shot is called a tool. I don't know where that came from, but that's just the slang word, and now you can talk and sound like a volleyball guy,
I sense there'll be a test before this season is over. Service ace goes off the shoulder of Collins, and Mitchell Hazlett makes the fans that who came here to see him play happy. In fact, if you take a look into the stands, you'll see a lot of orange shirts.
It's a good serve. It's real low and flat, really tough to handle.
Battle at the net. Marisi with the dig.
What a nice dig.
Macias. Oh, nice dig. That time by Morales.
Tough set.
Is it long? Was it touched? They say it's touched.
Yeah, it was
Pacific.
It's touched by the defender on the way out. Reason I said that was a tough set, it was really high and really, really close to the net. In the men's game, a set that's too close to the net, it's easily blocked. So nice job of the outside hitter going up, reaching way high over, and keeping that ball in play.
Arlich has buried one right at Joe Forbes.
And what happened there is IPFW's been doing such a good job of running their middles. There was only a single block up with Josh Collins. He was able to turn on the ball and smack it. Or was that Brock Ulrich? I'm sorry, Brock Ulrich.
And that kill attempt was a little wide. So another point for IPFW. They now lead.
Antenna is out. The ball cannot hit the antenna.
Okay, 8-7. This is the score. Make it 9-7.
As the, I believe, fifth block for IPFW. Again, one of their strengths.
Hazlett setting up Forbes. Good dig by Lundeen. Ulrich blocked at the net. Pacific, and Adamson being 6'9" and long arms puts it away.
Good scrappy defense by IPFW, making Pacific earn the point. You just don't want to give points away.
9-8 is the score. Cornell serving for Pacific. Good. Oh, almost a good block by Stewart. Ball just traveled wide. And we're tied at 9. Pacific not laying down here after losing game 1, 30-24.
That's Brian Adamson, that's a lefty attack over there. Different. You see mostly right-handed hitters.
Great block by Josh Stewart. The two tallest guys on each team going at each other. Adamson at 6'9" for Pacific, Stewart at 6'8" for IPFW. And that time IPFW won the duel. So here's Brock Ulrich with that corkscrew type serve. Service ace. That was the first ace of the night for IPFW.
Pacific players complaining about the call. You know, if they're unhappy with the officiating, one thing Coach Warman has to do is just say, hey, make the play. If it's close, make the play. Don't leave it in the hands of the officials.
Good set there by Hazlett, and Sepinen puts it away for Pekka Sepinen. He now has 2 kills on the night.
That was a nice swing. He went right through the middle of the block. It was a small hole. He forced it through. Tough dig when it deflects like that.
Joe Forbes will serve.
Great pass.
Stewart will get credit for the kill. The Dons flew up by 2 at 12-10.
Another middle hitter kill for IPFW.
As Coach always says, run the middle, run the middle. And right now they're running the middle rather well. Adamson. Boy, Adamson's a good-looking player, Steve.
Yeah, well, you don't see, again, like I mentioned before, you don't see all that many lefties. And so when you do, it throws you off a little bit. It's a typical place for a lefty, though, to be hitting from the right side of the court, but you just don't see it all that often.
Little miss hit by Josh Collins, and we're tied at 12 as Tigers have come back with 2 points in a row. Joe Wortman giving instructions to his front court. Another jump serve for Adamson. Josh Collins.
Good safe play, keep the ball alive, don't make an error.
Mishit blocked by the Dons, and Pacific gets the point. We take the lead, 13-12. Brian Adamson, a 6'9" senior from Arlington Heights, Illinois.
I think we're going to see C.J. Macias start taking some more swings in this game. He's taken considerably less at this point in the game than he had in game one. Part of the reason is they've been running their middle hitters so successfully, and now's where you switch it. Now you have their attention. Now you say you have to block our middle hitters, and then now you start swinging it out to other hitters.
Macias with the serve. Adamson, Arisi with the dig.
Really nice dig. Really nice dig.
C.J. hangs it home. And again, Mike Marisi from the barrel position with a very, very good dig to help keep that point alive.
That's one of the toughest digs in the game is straight down the line. You're about 15 feet away from the attacker, and you pop it up like that. You made it look easy.
Hazlett, good play that time. I think the point, is it in? Oh, they say not. And it is 15-13 IPFW. We've got timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
Do you have everything you need? Paper, pencils? We only ask that you do your best. And make you a snack.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, two great names.
That was a good look at the nice crowd that's here tonight at the Gates Center. We're watching the 13th ranked Volleyball of IPFW taking on the University of Pacific Tigers. IPFW won game 1, 30-24. They lead game 2, 15-13. And there, Steve, all those orange shirts on top of the screen.
Those aren't IPFW colors, Mike. I'll tell you that right now. Orange for Pacific. Well, you know, you got a hometown player on the team, starting center. It's sort of like starting quarterback on a football team. You know, important position.
Yep.
Junior. Hasn't played here yet at IPFW, against IPFW. It's a big deal. It's sort of like a homecoming.
Back to the action. Macias off Morales, and that'll be a point for the Dons. And Sepulveda unable to catch up to it.
Well, as I said before the timeout, IPFW's been running their middles, setting their middles a lot, and having a lot of success that way. Great time to start swinging the ball to CJ on the right side or to your outside hitters. And CJ is always a good option, no matter what. So,
here he commits a rare service error. I believe the fourth service error at IPFW tonight. Makes it 16-14 with Pekka Sepinen to serve.
Great serve.
And how? Macias, nice block at the net. I think Chen Byerly will get credit for the block. And it's 16-15.
It's an interesting game so far. Hasn't been many exciting plays. Both teams are sort of just playing. I'm just waiting for one team to take as much control as they can. Just take control. Say we're winning this match.
Nice swing by Josh Collins, and he comes down with a kill. Now has 4 kills on the night.
Big swing right there. Really just reached back and tried to jam it as hard as you could.
How often do you see a player get the good kill and comes back and he gets to serve? Hazlett, set up Adamson. I think that hit the pole.
That hit the antenna for sure.
A little breathing room for IPFW now. They're ahead 18-15 here in game 2. And they take a 2-0 lead in this match. Josh Collins with the jump serve. Hazlett for Chen Byerly. And Simon Chen Byerly comes down with the puck.
Well, it was a great pass by Sepinen. It allows Pacific to run their middle. You're much stronger when you can set your middle hitter because you have that option, but you could also swing it out.
Good dig by Ulrich. Collins from the right side. Ulrich, defensive return. Free ball chance for the Tigers. Cornell, a little strong. Dons dodge a bullet there.
Well, you know, they might have dodged a bullet or they might have played really good defense. What do you think? I think they earned that point. They covered the blocker well, recovered, made a nice swing.
You can see a couple of the Tigers, Adamson especially, and Hazlett talking to Brian Himmelgarn, the up official tonight. It was a good point.
I think they had to fight through it. They had to give up a free ball. They recovered well. I think Pacific was counting on that call being called for 4 hits, saying the block didn't touch it.
That's true.
You know,
that's true.
You know, clearly they're unhappy with the officiating tonight, and you know, it happens from time to time. But you gotta get your team to fight through it.
Well, the Tigers get that point there. And you're right. Joe Wortman was right in front of us, Steve, and he's still shaking his head and muttering something to his assistant, Dan Fisher.
Anybody who's ever coached volleyball probably has felt the way Wortman feels right now. Coach Wortman feels he's not getting a fair shake from the officials. And there's nothing you can do about it, unfortunately. So you just got to get your team going and say, fight through it. Make those hits 5 feet in instead of right on the line. Don't give the line judge a chance to call it out when it should be called in. You know, make the block, make the play.
Macias a little strong. Point Pacific. It's now 20-18. Matt Cornell to serve.
Tight pass.
Oh, wow, what a foot by Lundin. Put it right in Josh Stewart's wheelhouse.
That's one of the things Colin Lundin brings to this team is his jumping ability. Many other setters might have struggled with that pass because it really indeed was over the middle of the net, and he jumped so high he's able to save that ball.
Just long was Brock Ulrich's serve that time.
Lundin has excellent body control in the air, able to jump, hold his composure, and still make a great set. Tough break for IPFW after a great play like that to go back and miss a serve, though.
Forbes with the serve for Pacific. Macias right at the hands and feet of Adamson. CJ now up to 13 kills. Michael Quinones in for Josh Stewart.
And here we have a serving sub. Quinones is quite a good server, has a nice jump serve. Stewart's got an error or two on the night, so it's just a chance to get a good jump server in there.
Gets it over, that's step 1. Oh, good play that time by Pekka Seppänen. The Finn picks up his 4th kill of the night.
He does a nice job out here on the outside antenna. He sort of picks and chooses his shots. He can swing cross, he can swing line, sees the court well. It's nice, very nice controlled type player.
Macias is a little bit wide, I think, if he can touch. Oh, they say it's in. A lot of close calls here tonight, Steve.
A lot of close calls, and that's what I was saying before. Don't let the calls be close. Make the play. Dig that ball. Dig that goal, but get a hand on that ball, and then there won't be a judge of whether it was in or out. You dig it up, and there's no worries.
What block by Sitcha. Sepänen's talking to himself.
That's a tough block. Pacific hasn't been running their middles a ton. It allows Sitcha to cheat to the outside, and then with Colin Lundin and Sitcha, that's a huge block.
Join Coach Arnie Ball on College 56 for the Arnie Ball Show with highlights and perspective from the coach and his guests. Host Mark Frocke opens up the show, seen on Tuesday nights at 10:30, Fridays at 6:30, or Saturdays at 11:30 a.m. Again, that's the Arnie Ball Show. Catch it right here on College Cable Access, Channel 56. Timeout called by the University of Pacific. They trailed 24-20. I saw your wife for a split second there, Steve.
She's somewhere in the crowd.
IPFW has had some nice crowds here the last couple of weeks. 2 weeks ago when Ball State was here, nearly 2,100 fans. Last Saturday night against Quincy, over 1,100. And I'm sure we're over 1,000 here tonight as well.
And you know what? This is a early match, 5:30. People are just getting off work. Not the most convenient time for a sporting event, and we still got a great crowd here.
Hopefully they'll stick around for the basketball game afterwards.
That would be nice. It's senior night for a women's basketball team. They're coming off a big win, and just be a nice way to see the seniors that work so hard off with a nice big crowd.
Back to the action. C.J. Macias with the serve. Adamson. Macias with the dig. C.J. and it's long. A little too much oomph by C.J. Macias. Another rare hitting mistake.
It was a great dig too. That's, you know, he's the one who made that dig, so he's probably, you know, his adrenaline's pumping a little bit. Going to crush that ball a little too hard.
IPFW's best friend, the service error, comes back for a visit. It was 25-21. Josh Collins will serve, and the IPFW faithful trying a rhythmic chant. Good jump serve.
It's a good pass.
Good dig by Marisi. Macias, and it's blocked at the net by the tandem of Cornell and Chen Byerly.
Speaking of tandem, that was one of the names given to the type of play Pacific just ran, where the middle hitter goes up and takes a swing like he's going to hit, then the setter sets someone else right behind him. That's called a tandem.
Oh, Macias is blocked. Cornell and Forbes. And Pacific is drawn to within 2 at 25-23.
Well, and as we'll see what Lundin does in his next set. Maybe he's going to swing it. Tough pass.
Cornell dug out by Macias. Ulrich. They're playing patty cake. Here's CJ. Good dig by Adamson. Marisi with the dig. 6 to 3.
Right time for that too. What a great choice. He could have hit that ball. He could have. That was a choice, and that was a great choice.
Quillen comes in to serve. Stewart back on the floor.
Just had a really intense rally. Both teams swinging away. Sidar goes back, winds up real big. Little tip. Everyone's dug in on the heels. No chance. It's really a great time to do that play.
26-23. IPFW on top. Quillen with the float serve. Adamson. Oh, what a block by Stewart. It's 27-23. Quillen gets a sign from assistant coach Denny Johnson. Just tips the net.
That's a good call by Coach Johnson to tell him to hit the net with the serve.
Collins, and it's blocked nicely. I think Sepinen would get credit for the block.
Well, actually, the way the statistics work is all 3 players jumped, so all 3 players get what's called a block assist. If you're the only player that jumps, it's called a block solo.
I love this from Volleyball 101. Oh, what a pancake save by Collins. Oh, CJ just couldn't get enough oomph on it.
All right, I see both teams coming alive a little bit, starting to play some smarter volleyball, try to play smarter volleyball, play some defense. There's some more blocking going on. I feel like both teams are starting to pick it up a little.
Arnie Ball uses the first of his 2 allotted timeouts here in Game 2. He sees the lead cut to 2 at 27-25. What do you think he's going to say to the team right now, Steve?
I can never tell you what Coach Ball is going to say to the team. What he would say and what I would say a lot of times are very different. Hey, they got the lead. They've had a few errors over the last run, almost another service error just tweaked over. Maybe he's just going to tell them, clean it up, go out there and hit the ball.
It was 25-21, and then since then, as we see a replay here,
we're going to see that tip. Great job. You can just see all the players sort of rear up, sit on their heels, and then have to react, and by that time it was too late. Again, I really applaud that play by Sitcha. You don't see that very often in the men's game either. Tips or it's a very powerful game, and they swing as hard as they can most of the time.
Now players coming back onto the court.
You know, IPFW is playing good defense. Pacific has picked up their blocking. So, you know, it's probably IPFW is going to come out here and just try and counter the block right now with a different attack. Let's see what they run out of this timeout.
Mitchell Hazlett with the jump serve. Lundeen, nice dig that time by Morales. I think Pacific will get the point off the touch. It's a one-point game. Jason Hemphill comes in for the first time tonight, replacing Josh Collins.
Well, this is a substitution for the purposes of serve receive, for purposes of ball control.
And a service error by Hazlett.
If you're Coach Wortman right now on Pacific, if you're Coach Wortman, that's just a rally killer. They make the big comeback, they're on the verge of tying it up, and then you go ahead and miss your serve and swing the point the other way. 28-26, much more comfortable position for IPFW.
Forbes on a nice short set by Hazlett. Pacific gets that point back, and now we'll have another chance to tie this second game up. It's 28-27. Matt Cornell to serve. Little floater.
Good pass.
Stewart dug out by Forbes. Battle at the net, and Macias hits it wide, and we're tied at 28. See a little bit of frustration on the face of C.J. Macias that time.
Yeah, I mean, his hitting percentage has gone way down.
Stewart with the point off Hazlett. Now IPFW has game point coming up.
It looks like Pacific sort of said, we've got to stop C.J. Macias. And you know what? Relatively speaking, they have. I mean, he went from hitting 500, now he's hitting 214. Good server for IPFW back here right now.
Brock Allridge with the corkscrew serve. Hazlett setting up Adamson, and it's blocked by Hemphill.
Now IPFW has to convert here.
Right at the feet of Derek Morales, so the Dons take game 2, 30-28. They lead this match 2 games to none. We've got the mandatory break coming up. Steve and I'll come back and review what's happened so far. Again, IPFW wins game 2, 30-28. They lead the match 2 games to none. Back with more IPFW volleyball in a moment, right here on College 56 Sports.
To the 30 of Durham. He's going down the sideline, and it's up!
If legislation being considered now in the U.S. Congress passes, you won't see your local team or your government or local events and news on this TV channel. Telecom giants want to end the funding source for this and other local channels. And with such action, end your rights to watch or produce local programming. Don't let local access become won't see TV. Go to SaveMyFreeSpeech.net or AllianceCM.org now and learn how you can help. Become informed and contact your representatives in Washington. The time for your action is now. Otherwise, this is all you'll see here soon.
Pizza! Must eat. No way. What is this? Capsicum annum? Agaricus bisporus? Allium cepa? Can we eat this? Peppers, mushrooms, and onions. Eat your pizza, man. Honey.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW, along with IPFW Women's Assistant Volleyball Coach Steve Florio. This is Mike Nas. We are in the mandatory break between games 2 and 3. IPFW winning game 1 by a score of 30-24 and game 2 by a score of 30-28 over the Tigers at the University of Pacific from Stockton, California. And so far, IPFW doing very, very well as they attempt to make it 7 victories in a row tonight. This is the first of 2 matches against Pacific. These teams will play again tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Look at some of the team numbers. Surprisingly, kills are even at 32 apiece. IPFW with a hitting percentage of .273, .233 for Pacific. Mastodons have 1 more assist than the Tigers, 32-31. They lead in blocks 8-6 and in digs 22-14. Numbers somewhat close. Actually, the match has been somewhat close. Neither team really able to just run away with either of the first 2 games. IPFW led most of the way in game 1. The Pacific kept it close. I think the largest lead in game 1 was 5 points at 18-13. And in game 2, Pacific had the lead on a couple of occasions. IPFW had a 25-21 lead, and yet Pacific came back and had 3 chances to tie it before IPFW prevailed 30-28. You see again some of the crowd in here tonight. Again, this is a big night here at the Gate Center because following this volleyball match, it is senior night for IPFW women's basketball. Interim head coach Chris Paul. The team has worked very hard, and they've won 4 of their last 5 games, including a big win, 84-60 over Utah Valley State on Sunday afternoon at the Coliseum. And in a little while after this volleyball match is completed, IPFW will play host to Texas A&M Corpus Christi, a team that they lost to 64-56 down in Corpus Christi back on February the 6th. It'll be the final hurrah for 3 seniors on this women's basketball team: Jenny Green, Kelly Boyd, and Geneva Murdoch. But we'll talk more about that later because we'll bring you that contest here on Channel 56 Sports. Steve Florio has stepped away for a couple of moments. And hopefully we'll see some highlights from games 1 and 2 here in just a little bit. Again, if you're looking on the screen, you can see all those orange shirts. Here we go. Some of the highlights of these first 2 games. Good block there. Good set that time by Colin Lundeen. Another tag team block. IPFW, famous for their blocking. And again, there's Josh Stewart with what we like to call a windmill-type swing. And again, IPFW victorious in games 1 and 2, and we'll see what happens when they come out in game 3. I mentioned the orange shirts. Mitchell Hazlett went to school at Bishop Lewis High School, went out west. He redshirted a year. He is a junior, but he is the starting setter for the Tigers, and there are a lot of fans, friends, family, relatives, what have you, and they've all wearing orange shirts tonight in support of Mitchell Hazlett. Again, IPFW comes into this match having won 6 matches in a row, 4 of them in conference play. And 2 of those wins over nationally ranked teams in Ball State and Ohio State. They enter play tonight ranked 13th in the country. Their record is 8-5. Their conference record is 5-2. As we said, they'll play Pacific again here tomorrow night. Then they're going to go to Puerto Rico for 3 matches, and then return home to get ready to take on Ball State on March 18th down in Muncie. And that'll be a big match. And then the rest of their matches prior to tournament play will be here at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. So the schedule's set up. We'll just see how the team performs. We'll take another break and then get ready for the start of game 3. Again, IPFW up 2-0. before we take our break, let's take a look at some of the standings in the MIVA and tell you. You see Loyola on top with a record of 6-1. IPFW 1 game back at 5-2. Then Ball State 4-2. Ohio State 2-2. You see the other numbers. Loyola ranked 10th. Ball State 12th. Ohio State 11th in the country. Lewis 2-4. Mercyhurst 1-4. Quincy 1-6. That's in the Shondell Dunlap division of the MIVA. Also see where Loyola's 15-1. Ball State 13-2. And Ohio State's 12-4. And again, the AVCA poll shows BYU number 1, UC Irvine number 2, Pepperdine 3, Hawaii 4, Long Beach State, which defeated IPFW down at Penn State 3-2. They're ranked 5th. And then you see the MIVA contingent. Again, Loyola of Chicago, Ohio State, Ball State, and IPFW ranked 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th, respectively. Well, now we'll take our break, we'll catch our breath, and then we'll come back. Steve will rejoin me, and we'll bring you Game 3 of this match. Again, IPFW up 2-0. You're watching IPFW Men's Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
That vote was all right. But the next one.
You know, if she continues to spill product at a rate of 3 per hour, unit cost, say 60 cents. Factor in breakage, downtime, lost sales. You're looking at $2,400 a month. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stop Band is looking for more members and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stomp.
Happy spring! It's time to think of chocolate eggs and Easter bunnies.
And we're thinking about children in town who would like to be a part of the fun.
We're the alumni directors of the area colleges and universities.
Each year we adopt an area school and provide filled Easter baskets for all the students.
We need 500 baskets.
Please consider donating filled wrapped Easter baskets for this very worthy cause.
Remember, all the items in the basket need to be wrapped and not homemade.
Then the entire basket should be wrapped.
You can drop off your baskets up until April 6th at any one of our colleges or universities.
With your help, we'll make 500 children's spring a bit brighter this year.
Welcome back, everybody. There's your boss, Steve Flaw.
Yeah, look at that. That's Coach Hartley
on the right.
Look at that good-looking fellow right there. That's a local high school coach, Kent Mitchell, head coach of Concordia High School. Looked like they're in a serious conversation.
I've never known Charlie not to be in a serious conversation. Well, we go into Game 3, and we've talked about this many times, Steve. It seems like the team that is up 2-0 when there is a 2-0 advantage seems to lose focus, at least initially, and the team that is down 2-0 freewheels it because they have nothing to lose.
Well, yeah, definitely. You get in a comfort zone. I mean, like any other sport, when you have a big lead, you know, it's human nature just to relax a little bit. You know, not let your guard down completely, but just say, wow, we got a nice lead here, and just take a breath. And it's when you're taking that breath, it's when you're relaxing that the team that is down that much takes their biggest swings, you know? Their back's against the wall. I mean, Pacific has nothing to lose right now. They're down 2-0. Might as well just come out here and try and hit the snot out of the ball. Make some things happen, right?
I like your choice of words. Mitchell Hazlett will serve for the Tigers to start Game 3. Also want to thank Big Daddy's Pizza for supplying the College 56 production crew a pregame meal tonight. A couple of 3 locations in Fort Wayne. IPFW gets out on top 1-0.
Well, that's a cool play. That play is called a slide. And it's much like a basketball layup. You take off of 1 foot. And you don't see that, you hardly see that in the men's game. Not many men can hit it, not many men practice it, and Brock Ulrich, we've seen him a few times take that swing.
4 hits on the part of Pacific there, and it's another point for IPFW, and they're up 2-0.
Well, it looks like IPFW wants to close it out right here, and this is the attitude you want your team to come out with. Swing away on the attack rather than just trying to sit back and play prevent defense.
Ulrich again with the serve, good serve. That ball hit Collins, and I think...
Well, he misjudged it. I think he thought it was going to hit the net. At first, he thought it was going to be overpass. Then he changed his mind, thought it was going to hit the net. Then at the last second, realized it's not. And at that point, he was out of position. Good pass.
Substitution at the Pacific. Jeff Hendershot with the serve. And IPFW gets the point. It's 3-1. Sidar Sikcha to serve. Again, IPFW wanting to end it in 3. Sikcha from the backcourt. Wow. Point IPFW as Pacific just couldn't handle that serve.
No, it was short serves, change up. They've been seeing hard jump serves all night. And Sidar Sikcha just sort of drops one in front of the receive right there. Well, IPFW is on a mission right now, and that's a good thing to see.
And Sikcha commits a service error. That's the 6th service error by IPFW tonight. Pacific, conversely, has had 11 service errors.
Well, Pacific was off to a slow start in game 1, and they tightened it up a little too late, but let's see if they can tighten it up a little sooner. What a pass
by Forbes. Stewart gets it over. Adamson off the hand of Macias. Point Tigers. That time we saw some ambidextrity from Josh Stewart. Hit one with the right hand, one with the left.
A lot of potential. He's just a sophomore. It's exciting to think about that.
And there's service error number 12 as Forbes hits the 2 on. 5-3 is our score. IPFW on top. Colin Lundeen to serve. Valley Dons lead the match 2 games to none. Battle at the net. It's won by Josh Jones.
No redemption for that last overpass he got fooled by.
Colin Lundeen, the junior setter from Victoria, BC. Hazlett setting up Adamson. At least he tried to dig it out, but Adamson do it cleanly.
Adamson has been the best attacker so far for Pacific. That is his 15th kill, and he actually leads the match in kills out of both teams.
And the big left-hander serves it up. Macias dug out that time by Seppanen. Ulrich gets it over. Seppanen again, this time he's good. For Pekka Seppanen now, that is 5 kills on the night. And Pacific draws to within 1 at 6-5. Ryan Adamson will continue to serve. Macias off the hand of Hazlett. Point Dons.
That play right there is a perfect example. If we were able to run that back, you'd see that there was a one-on-one situation because Pacific's middle blocker jumped with Josh Stewart, leaving only one blocker in front of CJ Macias, and that's like shooting fish in a barrel for CJ.
Hazlett setting up Sappanen, blocked by Stewart. Maybe a little bit of help from CJ Macias. Dons up by 3, 8-5. Collins looking over to Denny Johnson for the signal, serve signal. Rhythmic chant in the background. Good jump serve. Hazlett for Adamson. Off the hands of Stewart. Point Pacific.
And another kill, which pops Brian Adamson back in the lead for kills. CJ Macias has 15. Both leading for their respective teams in kills.
Pekka Seppanen, a wee bit strong. Caught the blitzstream here in the Gate Center. 9-6. IPFW up by 3. Josh Stewart to serve. Adamson dug out by Colin Lundeen. Ulrich dug out by Seppanen. And the whistle blows, and IPFW will get the point.
They're calling him, I believe, either for that call under the net again or for a net violation. If they call him for under the net, that's really unusual. It's unusual to see it once in a men's game, but twice.
Elizabeth McHugh, the down official, talking with Joe Wortman. I'm sure Coach Wortman not happy with what he heard, but he's got to live with it.
Yeah.
Now 10-6. Oh, good short set by Hazlett, and Chen Byerly puts it away for Simon Chen Byerly. He now has 5 kills. It's 10-7, and now the 6'5" sophomore from Northfield, Illinois will serve. Momentary delays. Perspiration mopped up, so to speak. Lundeen for Ulrich.
Nice dig.
Marisi gets back and kicks it up.
Another nice dig.
Ulrich came back with some smoke. Now one half Simon Chen Byerly saying, what in the world?
You know, and Brock Ulrich is having a bit of an off night. He's hitting 0 on the night. He's only got 2 kills. But he has been a very steady part of the serve receive and playing good defense. So he's contributing in more ways than just his attack.
Good block by Sadar Sikcha. Denying Brian Adamson a kill. Now 12-7, the lead, it's 5.
That's one of the cool things about volleyball is there's more than one way to contribute.
That's true.
You can play defense, you can block, you can serve well.
C.J. Macias with the serve. Hazlett setting up Adamson, blocked by Ulrich. We go the other way. And Hendershot gets it over. I'm not sure the call there because they stopped it in mid-point, Steve.
I'll be honest, my view was blocked by one of the big old players out there on the court, so I didn't see it.
We'll take a break. IPFW up by 6. This is IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
Are you in there? What's up? The show's at 7. Whoa. Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
There you see the IPFW bench there. Steve, during the break, Tony Lomel, our producer and director back in the control room, said he wonders if that ball might have hit the pole or not.
It's quite possible that it hit the antenna, you know. Sometimes that ball can hit the antenna, just nick it. It's very hard to see from a distance, but the officials are right there on it, and actually it makes a distinctive sound, so sometimes if you're right there, you can hear it, even if you don't see it.
Well, we're ready to go. C.J. Macias again with the jump serve. Hazlett setting up Adamson. And it's a good play for Brian Adamson. Josh Collins unable to dig it up.
Adamson with his 17th kill, hitting .314, having a really solid match. IPFW just doesn't have an answer for him, but that's okay because they have an answer for the other 5 guys on the team.
Here's Mitchell Hazlett from Bishop Lewis. Good serve. Sikcha, oh, nice dig that time by Morales. Undershot, gets it over, but that's dug out. CJ, and it's kept alive. Good block, battle at the net. Dons get it. Sikcha will get credit. A little help from Lundeen.
Lundeen worked at that point. He jumped, reached way over, and was able to stop that play right in its tracks. And again, that's one of the intangibles Lundeen brings to the table is he's a good setter, he's a great blocker, and that's a quality most setters don't possess. Most setters are one of the weakest blockers on the team.
Cornell back in for Pacific, and Albert commits a service error.
It's a bonus. It's sort of like having a center in basketball who can shoot the three-pointer. They do their job, and then they bring a little something more.
Matt Cornell with the serve. Tigers trail 14-9. Make it 15-9 as Sadar Sikcha comes to life as he seems to do in a lot of game threes.
Well, I can't say enough good things about the middles tonight for IPFW. They are really hitting well. They're up on time. They're available for Lundin to set. The ball control is there for Lundin to get the ball to the middles, and they're finishing.
Good dig by C.J. Macias. He gets the return set and brings it home. C.J. started it, C.J. finished it.
Yeah, speaking of bringing other things to the table besides what you're really supposed to be good at, C.J. has 16 kills, but he's leading IPFW in digs as well. He has 8 digs. So he's leading the team in kills, leading the team in digs. That's great.
Saw a little conversation there between Arnie Ball and Denny Johnson. Sikcha from the backcourt. Hazlett. Successful. Sepulveda is denied.
And then another block from Lundin, so you're getting players contributing in more than one ways all over the place.
17-9 is the score. IPFW on top as they attempt to close this match out in 3 straight. Sadar Sikcha continues to serve. Hazel with a set for Adamson, and it's blocked again. Stuart Collins tag team it.
And this is the difference right now in the match, right here. IPFW is getting something from every one of their players on the court. And right now it seems like Pacific is only getting something from Brian Adamson. 1 or 2 players versus 6 players all doing their jobs.
If you heard about the Royal Dons Club, you can participate in the excitement of Mastodon Athletics by joining the Royal Dons Club. The Royal Dons is IPFW's official athletic booster organization. Members enjoy athletics-related special events, priority access to tickets, and more. To learn about the Royal Dons Club, call 260-481-6643. You can write to them at 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805. Or you can go to the IPFW Athletics website at www.ipfw.edu/athletics. 18-9, Pacific has used its second and final allotted timeout, and everything going the way of the blue and white.
Now here's something interesting to think about, and here's what's going so well for IPFW. They're running their middles, and they're running them really successfully tonight. Part of that is because the passing and defense is so good, but the middles are just getting the job done tonight. Between Sadar Sikcha and Josh Stewart, they have 12 kills. If you add up the outside hitters' kills, and that would be Brock Ulrich and Josh Collins, they have 9. So they're getting more kills out of the middle than they are the outside. And that's unusual. That's an unusual statistic. Outside hitters almost always get more kills combined than middle hitters do.
Pekka Sepulveda gets that kill. It's 18-10, and Dan Hammer, a 6'7" junior from Glendale, Wisconsin, in to serve.
Stork. And when a team is running their middles as well as IPFW is tonight, you know, if you're the opponent, in this case you're Pacific, it's just so hard to find an answer. Serve tougher, hit more aggressively, get the pass off the net, don't allow the setter to get the ball in the middle.
Colin Lundin to serve.
About all you can do.
on the floor. Battle at the net. Daiga. And this time Pacific wins the duel. I believe it's Chen Byerly that'll get credit for the kill. 19-11 with Brian Adamson to serve.
Sadar Sikcha is hitting 440, and Josh Stewart is hitting 667. Those are the middles for IPFW. It's a great hitting percentage for both middles.
I think Elizabeth McHugh is checking the alignment, I think for Pacific. And I'm not sure what's going on.
Well, it appears that Pacific was out of rotation, and when you're out of rotation, you lose serve.
Is there an extra point given?
You do not earn the point. I guess it all depends on the situation. If you had earned a point, they could take the point away, and that's what they did. They're giving the point to IPFW and not to Pacific right there. So now it's 20-10 as opposed to 19-11.
Marisi with a dig. Ulrich gets it over. Free ball chance for the Tigers. Marisi with another dig. Oh, he's had at least a half a dozen of those tonight.
Oh, he's playing so good tonight.
Battle at the net this time. Pacific. Or is it? It's still alive.
Another dig for Marisi. That's 3 in this rally.
That time Pacific finally gets the point. Wow. I had that point scored for Pacific 45 seconds ago.
Well, Mike Marisi didn't.
What? Marisi from the libero position is Mr. Dig.
That was, what a great rally. Another player on IPFW doing their job. Everyone's contributing.
Well, that time, easy pickings for Simon Chen Byerly.
Well, part of the time, that's a great play for Lundin. Lundin, you see, he was up, he jumped, and then he didn't try and block it. He's back row. He's not allowed from the back row to be a blocker. He's not allowed to jump and block. He's a back row player.
Taiga dug out by Morales. Marisi with another dig. Collins with a shot that's up. And that time, IPFW can't get to it.
And in just 2 rallies, Mike Marisi just took over the lead for digs for IPFW. He has 9 now. He just jumped up from 5 to 9 in 2 rallies.
Service error by Brian Adamson. Stops the Pacific run. Makes that score 21-13. Jason Hemphill in for Josh Collins, and Jason will serve. Jason, 6'4" junior from North Pole, Alaska.
We have Mike Daiga in the game blocking middle now. Let's see if he can continue the great middle hitting and blocking that IPFW had.
And that time, Sepinen hits it into the net.
Yeah, you know, he tried to go too hard there. He had it. He had a one-on-one situation. Mike Daiga jumped with the middle hitter for Pacific, leaving just C.J. Macias out there to block Sepinen, and he just tried to overdo it there.
Hazlett setting up Adamson right at the hands of Colin Lundin. They say the worst place to go after and try to hit somebody is going right straight at him.
Well, you know, more like right straight at their head.
Yeah.
19 kills for Adamson.
Macias, nice dig by Morales. Adamson, Hemphill keeps it alive. Lundin for Macias. Oh, Morales with a nice dig, but they can't get it across. It'll be 4 hits, and the Dons win the point.
And another player for IPFW contributing. Jason Hemphill coming in, making a nice dig right there to keep the rally alive. Coach Ball's got a lot of players doing a lot of things tonight, and that's the difference in the match. As I said earlier, Pacific is really not getting a whole lot of production out of anyone besides Adamson and, you know, maybe Chen Burrow.
Adamson gets credit for his 20th kill of the night. It's now 23-15. Simon Chen Byerly to serve. I got one silly question, Steve. I hope I can ask it before this game is over. As to why, maybe another reason why Pacific's struggling. Ulrich, blocked at the net. Adamson, off the net, out, and it's point IPFW. To the dismay of Joe Wortman. Question I want to ask. Pacific, we said they're from Stockton, California. I don't know when they got into town, but could that 3-hour time difference going from west to east be a factor tonight?
Well, I mean, it's about 3:30 or 4 right now their time? Maybe. I mean, I don't see. If we were playing later, it might. If you think about it, because if we start at 7, that's 10 o'clock their time. I don't think it's making a difference. Good thought, though. Maybe, and tomorrow night they'll be more accustomed, so.
See what happens. Hazlett with the serve. Ulrich, good block at the net by Adamson. CJ, is blocked nicely by Cornell. A couple of points in a row for the Tide. Pushing now it's 24-17. Mitch Hazlett again from Bishop Lewis High School here in Fort Wayne to serve. And he unloads it a little too strong.
It always seems tonight when Pacific gets a little spark going, they do something to put it out themselves. Just out of sync tonight. They're a better team than this, I'll tell you that much.
It'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow night when these two teams meet again at 7 o'clock. Ulrich with the serve. Hazlett, short set. Pancake dig by Marisi. Macias, that's dug out. Adamson. Here's the set for Hemphill. Oh, good block by Matt Cornell. Hammer was dead there as well. It's now 25-18. Tigers trail by 7. Cornell to serve. And perspiration being cleaned up on the floor.
31 digs for IPFW, 13 blocks, 27 digs for Pacific, and 8 blocks.
Good block again. Adamson and Hammer tag team it, and the lead is down to 6, 25-19.
You should see IPFW tighten it up right here. They can breathe when it's over. Right now, they just got to concentrate on putting it away.
That time, Hammer outdrilled Sitcha at the net. It's 25-20.
Some big blocking right now, getting Pacific back into this game.
Lundeen, change of pace to Colin Lundeen, the attacker rather than the setter. It's a big point for the Dons.
In comes Mike Dyga for IPFW and a serving sub.
Michael Quinones going to come in and serve. And now's the time, Steve, that the Dons want to close it out. They don't want to give Pacific any more chances here tonight.
Right now, Mike Dyga, the lone senior, on the floor.
Quinones with the serve. Chance for Dyga. He's wide up. Is he in? Yes, it's in. From our vantage point, you can't quite tell.
Nah, we're a little too far away and have a tough angle on that line.
27-20. IPFW 3 points away from match victory. Quinones again with the jump serve. Hazlett setting up Adamson. Well, that's been a good combination tonight. Ryan Adamson now with 22 kills. It's 27-21. With Dan Hammer to serve. Dean for Hemphill.
Nice dig.
Dug out by Cornell. Nice play by Jason Hemphill. Pacific saying, wait a minute, did Jason go over the net with his hands?
What they're asking is trying to say Jason Hemphill played the ball before it got into the plane, which means over the top of the net. Best view in the house is from that up official stand. He says no. He says it was legal.
Colin Lundeen to serve. Good short set, putting it away with Simon Chin-Barley.
He's had quietly a good night. His stats won't jump off the page. He's hitting, although he's hitting 600. He only has 7 kills, but he's hitting 600, 60%.
Ryan Adamson, the best player on the floor tonight for Pacific with the serve.
Nice set.
Cornell with a dig. Battle at the net. Hemphill gets it over. Look out. Macias keeps it alive. Free ball chance for the Tigers. Adamson a block at the net. Hazlett keeps it alive for the moment. The Dons finally put it away.
It's about staying alive. It's about keeping the rally alive. Even if you got to send a little whippy shot like that over the net, we call it a free ball. Place it, block it, you can get a bad pass out of them. And IPFW has kept the ball alive a lot tonight.
Match point. Jason Hemphill with the jump serve. Hazlett for Chin-Barley. Dug out by Lundeen. Brock Ulrich. Change of pace, and this match is over. Change of pace shot by Brock Ulrich, and the Dons win Game 3, 30-22. They win the match 3 games to none. The winning streak stays intact. It increases to 7 in a row. Dons now 9-5 on the year. University of Pacific drops to 5-12. The players and coaches congratulating each other. And everything was on the side of the blue and white tonight, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, IPFW stayed on a mission. They looks like they didn't have to make any big changes from their game plan. They got good contributions from everybody on the floor and just played a good, steady, consistent game. Didn't have to do anything too fancy. Just played good, solid, fundamentally strong volleyball. On the Pacific side, they just never could get a rhythm going, I felt.
Well, again, you're right. Pacific fell behind a little bit early. The first 2 games relatively close. Neither team could really stake an advantage and get the flow. IPFW did come out on top, and then in Game 3, it was pretty much IPFW's all the way. And you see there's our Sitcha.
Had a great night.
Ernie Ball
at 300, had 5 kills. Coach Ball's got to be happy with the way his middles played tonight.
Yeah. Well, hopefully most of these fans will stick around for the basketball end of the volleyball basketball doubleheaders. You see Chancellor Michael Wartell in the white sweater.
Big volleyball fan, big sports fan, really a big supporter of all the sports teams here at IPFW. And as a coach, I can honestly say we really, truly appreciate it that he comes to as many sporting events as he possibly can. Many chancellors, you don't see them at any of the sporting events.
Well, I think at this point, Steve, let's take a break, catch our breath, we'll get the final stats, and we'll come back for at least one more time here. Again, IPFW wins this match tonight, 3 games to none. We'll take a break and come back with more IPFW volleyball in a moment right here on College 56 Sports.
Did you know IPFW has its very own pep band? The Stop Band is looking for more members and we want you to join. IPFW students even receive a credit for their participation. Perfection is not required, just enthusiasm and a desire to share your school spirit. Check out our website for more information. Don't just play, stop.
Mom, Dad, you know we love kids, and I've made a decision that will totally change my life. Cameron's too. It's a huge responsibility, leading someone into, who knows, communication or science or math. That's what life's all about, right? Learning so you can pass on knowledge to younger minds. Dad, Mom, I want to be a teacher.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. One university, 2 great names.
Welcome back, everybody, again to the Hilliard Gates Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW with IPFW Women's Assistant Volleyball Coach Steve Florio. This is Mike Maz. The volleyball portion of this volleyball basketball doubleheader is now complete. IPFW wins this match tonight over the University of Pacific, 3 games to none. And Steve, let's take a look at some of these final numbers. IPFW, if you look at some of the numbers, you wonder why, was this match as one-sided as it was, and in a way it was, and in a way it wasn't. Some of the team numbers.
Well, you look at the team numbers, they're up on your screen right now. IPFW out-hit Pacific 267 to 198. So the kills are the same, 46 and 46, but much more efficient on IPFW's side, hitting 267. Another thing to look at, they outdug them, they outblocked them, but not by too much. I think and you can't see this on the screen right now, but it's where IPFW was getting their kills from. They got a lot of kills from their middle hitters. They got 13 kills from their middle hitters and 11 kills from their outsides. And when your middles are on like that, you're very tough to beat. You're very, very tough to beat.
Well, the other thing, too, that isn't shown on the screen, service errors had a big play in this match tonight, especially in Game 1. Pacific committed 15 service errors, and they had 1 service ace. IPFW had just 8 service errors, 2 service aces, and there was a 6 error differential in Game 1, and IPFW won Game 1 by 30 to 24. Briefly, individually tonight, IPFW led by CJ Macias with 18 kills, 8 kills for Josh Stewart, 6 for Josh Cowens, 5 for Sadar Sikcha, 4 for Brock Ulrich, 3 for Colin Lundeen, and 1 apiece for Jason Hemphill and Mike Dyga. For the University of Pacific, they were led by Brian Adamson with a match-high 21 kills, 7 kills apiece for Pekka Seppänen and Simon Chen Byerly, 5 kills from Matt Cornell, 4 kills from Joe Forbes, and 2 kills from Mitchell Hazlett. Hazlett had 40 assists from his setter position. Colin Lundeen had 36 for IPFW. And again, in that all-important block category, and then you like to refer, block solos, block assists. Josh Stewart with 8 block assists tonight. And you had Sadar Sikcha, Colin Lundeen, and Brock Ulrich with 4 block assists each. And Matt Cornell had 7 block assists to lead Pacific, but all in all, IPFW got the win they needed tonight, and now they've won 7 matches in a row.
Yeah, they're rolling. The tough thing is you beat this team, and Pacific's got a lot of potential. They're really talented. They're really good, and you got to turn around and play them again. And Pacific just lost 3-0. They're going to come out swinging tomorrow night. So IPFW, it's sort of like we talked about when you get that 2-0 lead. Don't rest because you got to play them again, and they want revenge.
Well, again, you're right. These two teams will meet here again tomorrow night at the Gate Sports Center at 7 o'clock. No TV. We'll be on radio, on ESPN Radio 1380. Ken Holman and I will be calling the action. So we'll see if the Dons can make it 8 in a row tomorrow night. I want to remind you to tune in to College Cable Access Channel 56 Saturday afternoon, March 11th at 1 p.m. for the replay of this match with Pacific. Again, that is 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon, March 11th, the replay of tonight's match with the University of Pacific and IPFW right here on College 56 Sports. Well, that's going to do it for the volleyball portion of our doubleheader. At this time, we want to thank the College 56 production crew, the IPFW athletic staff, the City of Fort Wayne, Comcast Cablevision, the IPFW Learning Resource Center, and especially the IPFW Office of University Relations and Communications for their contributions to this College 56 Sports telecast. Also, we want to thank Big Daddy's Pizza, 3 locations in the Summit City. Big Daddy's Pizza provided the College 56 staff tonight with the pregame meal. Thanks to them for that. This telecast of IPFW Sports is copyrighted and the sole property of the College Cable Access Center and IPFW. Unauthorized duplication, exhibition, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this event without express written consent is strictly prohibited. We hope you've enjoyed this telecast of IPFW Sports, if not the outcome, and we thank you again for joining us this evening. For Steve Florio, this is Mike Moss saying so long for now. Again, IPFW stretches their winning streak to 7 matches in a row, defeating the University of Pacific by scores of 30-24, 30-28, and 30-22. They improved to 9-5 on the season. I want you to stay tuned because in about 45 minutes we'll be back with IPFW Women's Basketball Senior Night. Mastodons playing host to the Texas A&M Corpus Christi Islanders. But until then, for Steve Florio, this is Mike Moss. Thanks so much for tuning in as we bid you a short adieu now from the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW.